Mary, have you noticed that Rachel has not been in church for several Sabbaths? I have. It did cross my mind. Maybe she is not feeling well. Not feeling well? For weeks? That's not likely. Do you remember when she left Friday night Vespers early last month? She barely greeted anyone. Something changed after that, and now she is missing completely. People go through things, Clara. Maybe she just needs time. Time for what? To drift further? You and I both know that's how it starts. First, they miss midweek prayer. Then, no more Sabbath school. Next, divine service becomes an option. Before you know it, they are spending Sabbaths at the mall, out with friends, or worse, working on the Sabbath. That's a heavy assumption. We don't know what's happening in her life. And that's exactly my point. We don't know, but the signs are there. Someone told me she was seen at a cafe on a Friday night. Not at home preparing for the Sabbath. A cafe. Maybe she was just grabbing something quickly. With a man? A man who, from what I hear, is as worldly as they come? Loud, tattooed, completely unconcerned about godly things? Rachel has always been so committed. She led the women's ministry last year. She helped with the last youth retreat. Exactly why this is alarming. The devil doesn't waste time on people who are already halfway gone. He goes after those who are standing firm. When people start hiding from the church, avoiding godly company, and choosing other influences, it's never a good sign. Maybe she is just overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by what? Fellowship? Worship? The word. Mary, if she was struggling, why not ask for prayers? Why not confide in someone? People pull away when they are slipping. I have seen it before. So what do? We keep watch. We listen. We make sure this doesn't go any further. And honestly, I think Elder Johnson should be made aware. Are you sure that's necessary? It's better to be safe than sorry. If she is in spiritual danger, it's our duty to act. I suppose you were right. I will speak with him soon. Now you have to tell me. What happened? You know Rachel from church, right? The one who used to be so active. Of course. She was always leading something. Haven't seen her in a while though. Exactly. And I just found out why. Clara told me Rachel has been missing Sabbath services, because she has been distracted. Distracted? What do you mean? It looks like she is caught up with someone. A man. Not a church man, Lisa. Someone from out there. You are joking. Rachel? That doesn't sound like her. That's what I said. But Clara told me she was seen at a cafe on a Friday night with this man. You know what that means. If it's true, it's a shame. She knew better than to be out on Friday nights. We all do. Exactly. And if she is keeping company with someone who doesn't share her faith, that's a dangerous path. And how did Clara find out? She has her ways. And honestly, Lisa, when someone starts pulling away from the church, it's only a matter of time before it shows in other areas of their life. I always thought Rachel was solid. Never imagined she would be one of those who drift away. That's the danger. The ones who seem strong are the very ones Satan targets the most. If she is really going down that road, people will start noticing. These things don't stay hidden for long. That's what I'm afraid of. I just hope she comes to her senses before it's too late. You know how people are though. Someone is going to hear about this and twist it into something even worse. That's why I'm only telling you. This isn't for gossip, just concern. Of course. Just between us.
Lisa, you seem deep in conversation. What is the latest office gossip?
Oh James, this isn't just gossip. It's concerning.
Oh? Now you have got my attention. What's going on?
It's about someone from my church. You wouldn't know her, but her name is Rachel. She used to be really involved, always leading things and inspiring others. But now, she is disappearing.
Disappearing? What do you mean?
She hasn't been to church in weeks. Not a single Sabbath service, not even midweek prayers. And from what I hear, she has been seen out on Friday nights. With a man.
A man?
Not just any man. Someone completely outside the faith. Tattoos, Loud personality, you get the picture.
Wow. And here I thought church girls were different.
That's what's so shocking. Rachel wasn't just any churchgoer, she was a leader. People looked up to her. If she is slipping, what kind of message does that send?
People love to act holy in public, but when no one is looking? Whole different story.
That's exactly what I said. And you know what the worst part is? The way she is hiding it. No explanations, no accountability. She just vanished, like she doesn't owe the church an answer.
Typical. I have seen it before. People act one way in church, but outside? That's when you see their true colors.
And it's spreading. Mary was the one who first told me, and she heard it from Clara. You know what that means? If we know, other people will soon.
And when word gets out, it won't just be about missing church. People will start asking questions. If she is spending Friday nights out with some guy, who's to say it stops there?
Exactly. And you know how these things escalate. First, they are seen together. Next thing you know, people are whispering about other things.
You know, I think I should mention this to Chris. He has been talking a lot about how the church needs to stay strong, especially young people. He'd be interested to know that not everyone is who they claim to be.
Just be careful how you say it. I mean, we don't have all the details.
Lisa, the details don't change the truth. A real Christian wouldn't even put themselves in that kind of situation. If she is doing what they say, people need to be aware.
I guess you are right. It's just sad, you know.
Sad, but not surprising. That's why we have to be careful who we look up to. Some people are all talk.
Let's just hope she realizes before things get worse.
If things aren't already worse.
You won't believe the conversation I overheard at home last night. Oh, this sounds good. Spill. So what happened? Your aunt finally get tired of talking about church stuff. Not exactly. But she was going on and on about some woman from our church, Rachel. And you won't believe what is happening with her. Rachel? That name sounds familiar. She is older than us. Super religious, always talking about faith and purity. You would think she was a saint. Oh, I think I know who you are talking about. She has always been a model Christian. What about her? Well, turns out she is not so model anymore. My aunt and her friend were saying she has been skipping church for weeks. Not just that, but she's been out on Friday nights. Wait. Friday nights? But Sabbath starts at sunset. So, she is breaking the Sabbath. Wow. That's not even the juicy part. Apparently, she's been out with some guy. And not a church guy, someone totally opposite. You are kidding. Rachel? The same one who used to lead all those Bible study groups. The same Rachel who would tell people to guard their hearts and stay in the faith? Yes, that Rachel. Turns out she's been real cozy with some guy who doesn't even believe in God. That's crazy. I would never have expected that from her. She always acted like she was above everyone else, like she had everything figured out. And now look at her. Exactly. And you know what's funny? She used to tell people not to get unequally yoked. Now she is out there doing exactly what she preached against. Hypocrite much. This is why I don't take people like that seriously. They act so righteous, but when no one is looking, they are the first to fall. That's the thing. She thought no one was looking. But people notice. And now the whole church is talking. Well, if the church is talking, it's only a matter of time before everyone hears about it. And honestly, she deserves it. She's the one who set herself up as the example. If she wants to live that kind of life, she can't expect people not to talk. And imagine how many people she has misled. I mean, how many younger girls probably looked up to her? Too many. And if she is out here sneaking around with some guy, what else is she hiding? You know what they say, if you give Satan a foothold, he will take over. Yes. And from the way my aunt was talking, Rachel is already in deep. Well, one thing is for sure, by the end of the week, everybody will know the real Rachel. You have been dodging me for days. What's up?
Have I? Maybe I have just been processing some things.
Processing what? Come on, don't be weird. What's going on?
I don't know, Rachel. Maybe you can tell me. Seems like there is a whole lot about you I don't know lately.
What's that supposed to mean?
Wow, you are really gonna play innocent? I mean, I get it. You are good at keeping secrets, right?
Daniel, I seriously don't know what you are talking about. Can you just say it instead of acting all cryptic?
You know, I used to defend you. Every time someone said you were too perfect, too self-righteous, I would tell them they just didn't know you like I did. But now, I don't even know if I know you.
You are scaring me. Where is this coming from?
Don't act like you haven't heard the whispers.
What whispers?
That you have been missing church. That you have been sneaking around with some guy. That you are, how do I put this? Not as righteous as you like to act.
Are you serious right now? Daniel, you actually believe that?
I don't know what to believe anymore, Rachel. All I know is that the lady I thought I knew, the one who used to tell me how important faith is, has been out breaking the very principles she preached.
And you just took their word for it? Without asking me? Without even thinking that maybe people love twisting things?
Should I have to ask? If it wasn't true, wouldn't you have already shut it down? Instead, you have been quiet.
Because I didn't even know people were saying this. I have been dealing with personal stuff. Stuff I didn't feel like broadcasting to the whole world. And now I find out my own best friend thinks I'm some kind of fraud?
Look, I'm not saying I wanted to believe it. But when I hear the same thing from different places, what am I supposed to do?
You are supposed to trust me. You are supposed to know my character better than a bunch of gossiping church members who barely know me.
I thought I did. But honestly, Rachel, now I'm not so sure.
So what? Because of some rumors, you're just going to throw away years of friendship?
I don't know. Maybe I just need some space.
Space. You would rather believe a bunch of whispers than stand by me.
I just need time to think.
Take all the time you need, Daniel. But when you finally figure out the truth, don't expect me to be waiting.
Pastor, I believe we have a serious concern that needs addressing. It's about Rachel.
Rachel? What about her?
I have been hearing troubling things. Whispers. At first, I dismissed them as idle talk, but when the same concerns started coming from multiple people, Mary, Sister Clara, even some of the young people in the church, I knew it needed our attention.
And what exactly are these concerns?
That she has not been attending Sabbath services. That she has been seen in places that raise questions. That her faith is wavering. Some even hint that she may be engaging in behavior unbecoming of a young woman of faith.
Elder Job, you and I both know how quickly words can turn into wildfire. The tongue is a small thing, but oh, how great a force it can set ablaze. Are we certain this is truth, or are we reacting to whispers?
That's the problem. How do we separate the two? Because if Rachel truly is struggling, if she has distanced herself from the body of Christ, we have a responsibility. We cannot stand by and watch one of our own drift away.
I don't disagree. Rachel has always been devoted, one of our most active young members. If something has changed, there must be a reason. But tell me, have any of these people actually spoken to her?
That I do not know. I suspect they have not. People are more comfortable talking about someone than talking to them.
That is exactly my concern. We are quick to diagnose from a distance, but what if the real issue isn't what people assume? What if she is going through something deeper, something she hasn't found the words to share? And instead of us being a refuge, we have become yet another source of burden?
I hear you, Pastor. I do. But then how do we handle this? Do we call her in? Pay her a visit?
A direct confrontation might do more harm than good. If Rachel already feels distanced from the church, she may interpret it as judgment rather than concern. If the rumors are untrue, we risk severing the very bridge we should be building.
So, we wait?
No. We act, but with wisdom. First, we pray. Before anything else, we must seek God's guidance. Without it, we may move in error. Second, I want to speak to someone who knows Rachel personally, someone who can provide clarity without the filter of gossip.
Daniel?
I thought about him, but I have noticed he has been distant lately. If the rumors have reached him, his perspective might already be tainted. If he has already believed them, we may not get the truth from him, only his own interpretation.
That's a fair point. Then who?
Her parents. If Rachel has been struggling, they would know. And they would tell us not from a place of assumption, but from genuine concern.
And if her parents are in the dark, just like us,
Then we will need another approach. But let's not assume the worst. The Bible tells us that in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. We must seek wisdom, not just information.
I agree. I will begin praying about this.
And they will reach out to her family. Whatever is happening with Rachel, one thing is certain, I don't want her to feel alone in it. If she is struggling, she must know that this church is a place of restoration, not condemnation.
Happy Sabbath, Sister Clara. Oh, happy Sabbath, Rachel. It's been a while since we had one of our long after church chats. How have you been? Oh, just keeping busy with church activities. There is always something to do. That's great. I was actually hoping to get involved more. Maybe join one of the outreach teams. Oh, that's, interesting. Interesting? That's not the reaction I expected. Sister Clara, is something wrong? Oh, not at all. It's just, I need to go check on something. Excuse me, dear. That was odd. Hey, Tina. How was your week? Good. Just good. You usually tell me every little thing that happens at school, even stuff I don't need to know. I guess I don't have much to say today. Okay, now I know something is wrong. Tina, what's going on? I really have to go. Tina, wait. Sorry, Rachel. I can't.
Lisa, you won't believe what I just found out.
What now? Another shocking revelation?
It's about Rachel.
What about her?
She wasn't backsliding. She wasn't out there doing anything wrong.
Then why was she missing church?
Because she was taking care of her sick mother.
Wait. What?
I ran into Rachel's cousin at the pharmacy over the weekend. She told me Rachel's mother has been seriously ill for weeks. She has been in and out of the hospital.
But Clara said.
Clara assumed. And we ran with it. I ran with it.
But Rachel never said anything.
Maybe because no one asked. Maybe because instead of checking on her, we turned her into the topic of every whispered conversation.
I didn't know.
None of us did. And that's the problem. I repeated what I heard without knowing the truth. And now, Rachel probably feels completely abandoned by the very people who were supposed to be her support system.
I didn't mean for it to go this far.
I don't think any of us did. But that's how gossip works, Lisa. It starts as a small fire and turns into a wildfire before anyone can stop it.
What do we do now?
I don't know. But I know I need to apologize.
Yes. Me too. I didn't mean for it to get this far. I thought I was helping. I thought I was protecting the church, the members.
Clara, we all know that when one of us suffers, we all suffer. But this, what has happened, is a deeper hurt than any of us expected. You spoke out of concern, but you didn't stop to ask, to listen, to understand.
I thought I was doing what was right. I saw Rachel wasn't attending, and I just thought, maybe she needed help. I thought she was falling away. I didn't think it would turn into this.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, Clara. You may have thought you were protecting her, but what you did was no different than casting a stone without knowing who would be hurt by it.
I never wanted to hurt Rachel. I never wanted anyone to. I just didn't understand.
Understanding isn't just about what we think we know. It's about listening, asking, being there for one another. You heard a rumor, and instead of checking, you let it spread. You allowed fear to drive your words, not compassion.
I see that now. I wish I had gone to Rachel. I wish I had asked her, instead of just assuming.
It's not just about what you could have done differently. It's about the effect that gossip has. Not just on the person being gossiped about, but on everyone who hears it. We are the stewards of one another's reputations. We must choose our words wisely, in love, in truth, and in grace. Gossip is a deadly thing. It's not just the spreading of lies, it's the tearing down of trust. It's not just a sin against the person, it's a sin against God. How many of us have been guilty of assuming the worst, without knowing the full story? We need to stop the cycle of gossip before it starts. We need to protect one another, build each other up, not tear each other down.
Pastor, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I see now I was part of the problem. I'm truly sorry.
This is not the end, but the beginning of a new path. A path where we speak life, not death. Where we speak healing, not hurt.
I have spent a lot of time thinking about everything that has happened over the past few weeks. About the hurt, the confusion, the pain. And I realize now that I'm not the only one who's been affected by all of this. We all have. I've been holding on to anger, bitterness, and mistrust, and it's been eating me up from the inside out. But today I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive those who gossiped, those who believed the lies, those who turned their backs on me without knowing the truth.
Rachel, your words speak to the heart of what God calls us to do. Forgiveness isn't just a choice, it's a healing process. It doesn't make what was done right, but it allows us to move forward, to grow, and to become the people God has called us to be.
Forgiveness is hard. It's not something that comes naturally, especially when you've been hurt by people you trusted, by people who were supposed to be your friends. But I know now that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean I have to trust again right away. But it means I'm not going to let this bitterness control me anymore. Rachel, I want to say, I am truly sorry. I was part of this gossip chain, and I can't change that. But I'm here, standing with you, asking for forgiveness. I've learned a hard lesson. I've hurt you, I've hurt others, and I've allowed something to spread that I shouldn't have. I want to do better. Mary, I appreciate you saying that. It's not easy to admit when we are wrong, especially when we have caused pain to others. I know it wasn't intentional, but the damage is real. And yet, I'm choosing to forgive you. Not because it's easy, but because it's what God wants me to do. Rachel, I owe you an apology too. I was part of it, I spread the rumors, and I hurt you. I didn't stop to think about the consequences. I didn't stop to think about you. I let my words carry weight that they shouldn't have. And for that, I am so sorry. It's not easy, Lisa. But I want to believe that we can all learn from this. I want to believe that we are not defined by our mistakes. I thought I was just passing along information. I didn't think it through. I didn't understand the harm I was causing. Rachel, I'm so sorry. I didn't know the whole story, and I should have never let the gossip spread as it did. It's okay, Clara. I know you didn't mean to cause harm. I just want us all to learn from this. I don't want this to keep happening. We can't keep letting gossip ruin our relationships, our church, and our witness to the world.
Today, we have the opportunity to break the cycle. We have seen the damage gossip can do. We have seen how it hurts relationships, destroys trust, and brings division. But we can also see that we are capable of change. We are capable of healing. And it starts with us, right here. If we are to be the body of Christ, we must learn to speak with love, to listen with understanding, and to support one another.
I want us to be better. I want us to be a church that builds each other up, not tears each other down. I want to be a part of that. And I hope you do too. From now on, we make a pact. We will stop the gossip before it even starts. We will speak life over each other, not death. We will choose to speak the truth, to hold each other accountable with love and grace, not judgment. We will protect the unity of this church, and we will protect the trust that we have been given. Thank you. Thank you all. Let's move forward in love. Let's rebuild what was broken, and let's never let gossip have the power it once did.
This is the heart of Christ. This is the love that binds us together. And together, we will stand.